guys, so this is going to be my sorority formal recruitment experience and kind of what to expect, as well as some advice and tips. So I'm not going to be telling you guys what sorority I'm in until the very end. So take a moment right now, comment down below, and let me know what sorority you guys think I'm in. So our recruitment, which is rushing, took over a span of 2 weekends, Labor Day weekend and the weekend before Labor Day weekend. And so the first day is housing, which is Friday, and it's basically like housing tours. At my school we don't have like actual houses for the sororities. We have kind of like apartment complex style, and we didn't go see all the houses. We only went to like 2 houses, which is 1 building I think, and all like the structures are all the same, so there was really no point in looking at all of them. And at my school I believe we have 13 Panhellenic sororities, but one of them wasn't part of the recruitment process because they're a STEM based sorority. So kind of we had 12 houses. So our first round took over a span of 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and since there was closely 1,400 girls rushing, half of us went on Saturday, half of us went on Sunday. I went on Sunday, and it took a really long time. It was like I had to be there like at 8 a.m. in the morning, or no, it was 9 a.m. in the morning up until I think 6 o'clock we were done. And we went to go visit all 12 houses, and we had to talk with 12 houses for 20 minutes each. And it wasn't like the actual houses, it was all like in a room, and then they had like each like sorority had their own room. So I know some like recruitment videos, they said like bring water, it's gonna be super hot and you want to hydrate yourself. Yes, bring water because you're gonna be talking a lot, but it kind of like varies school to school. If you're gonna be going to like the actual houses and you're gonna be outside, then it's gonna be hot. But for me, I stayed inside the whole entire time, and it was pretty cold. But I mean, like there were so many girls packed in one room, it wasn't like super cold. So when you walk into a room, into a house I suppose, they're all like chanting and yelling and clapping and dancing, so it's like whoa. Some house will have like you'll just be talking to 1 girl, a different house you'll be talking to like 3 girls. I think like a max was like 3. I don't remember talking to any more than 3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was just 3. But you basically just talk to them like, what's your name, what year are you, what's your major, what do you like to do for fun, what are you looking to get out of in a sorority or being in Greek life, just generic stuff like that on round 1. And what I really recommend is writing down like the houses you talk to, like the house you talk to, whether or not you like them, like what's your rating. I did emojis, like I did the heart eye, and I did like a smiley face, and then I did an upside down smiley face for like indicating that was awkward. So what I recommend, and I'm pretty sure like your recruitment counselor, because everyone gets a recruitment counselor, and they're just a sorority girl that's disaffiliated with their sorority for the recruitment process time, so that they can give you an unbiased opinion about like sorority houses and what you should pick if you had any trouble. I personally didn't really talk to my recruitment counselor, which I really recommend you guys talk if you have any questions, you know, like what should I wear, you know, etc. Feel free to talk to her because she's there for you. So in the first round, after we talk to all the houses, we kind of make our rank. So at my school, since there's 12, you rank from 1 through 8 as your number 1, and then 9 is your number 2, 10 is number 3, 11 4, and then 12 5. I'll put kind of like a list right here so you guys can kind of like visually see it. So the maximum you can get back for your second round is 8, and for me, I got invited back to 3 houses. And I was kind of a little bit sad, to be honest, because I thought most of the houses I talked to, actually no, I thought like 3 of them I had like a pretty good conversation with. The 3 houses that invited me back are A, H and L. So A was my number one. Like if I could, like if they had like only one spot for number one, I would put that house like hands down, like no doubts. And it was kind of like, I knew that I really liked that house was because, you know, like when you had like a little taste of something really good and then you're just like worried that you won't be able to like have something as good as that again. Does that make sense? So after I went to go talk to that house in the first round, I was so nervous because I was like, oh my god, I love this house. Like what if like all the other houses I talked to, like I don't like them as much? And honestly that was kind of true, because there was another house where I kind of like liked them, but I didn't like them as like my first choice, and I was so hyped that that invited me back. I was just like, oh my god, like yes. Like I was a little bit sad that like 3 houses invited me back, and majority of the girls I talked to, they're like, oh yeah, like 6 houses invited me back, like 5 houses invited me back. Or like this one girl, she had 5 houses invite her back, and she was like, oh my god, like she said something about like, that's so little, like I thought more houses was gonna invite me back. But I was just like, hey, I got 3 and makes you feel better. Our recruitment counselor said that like it's really unlikely to have like the full 8 houses invite us back. So yeah, so H invited me back, and they're not like, they were just like one of those houses where I didn't care. It was just like whatever, like they were just there. Our conversation weren't super good. I didn't think it was on round 1, and I didn't think it was like that bad. It was like a little bit awkward because I didn't really know what to talk about. And then like L was just like the most awkward house, because I talked to 3 girls, right? And all the girls I talked to, it was just really awkward and uncomfortable. And right when the music starts for us to leave, because they had music in the beginning when you're walking through the tunnel, and then once you sit down you talk to them, and then when it's time to leave, like they turn on the music and then girls start lining up the tunnel again, and then that's kind of like when it's like your time with them is kind of ending. And like I remember for my last house, we went to the L house. It was so awkward. Right when they started turning on the music, like the girl I was talking to, she was like, okay, well it's time for us to go, and then like we were the first one out the door. So I was like so confused why they invited me back, because I was just like, this is a mistake. This has to be a mistake. So our second round took over 2 days again, and it was Friday evening and Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So on Friday night I talked to H and L, and then on Saturday I talked to A. Sorry, I kind of have like a list of what I wrote down so that I don't get off track too much, because yeah. So H and L, they went pretty good. L, I talked to the same 3 girls I talked to again, and it was more awkward than the first time, and I was just like, this has to be a mistake. Like why did they invite me back? Like I was just not feeling it. And then H was alright, nothing special. And round 2 is philanthropy. So yeah, round 2 is philanthropy. So they basically talk about like what they work with, and what they do for like putting up events and raising money, and pretty much like stuff like that. And then Saturday I had my number 1 choice, and I was so happy. I dressed super cute than I did on Friday because I didn't have class, and yeah. And then you put in your ranking, and I believe it was your top 5, and then 6 was 2, 7 was 3, and then 8 was 4. Honestly, I don't know at that point, because I only had 3 houses and they were marked as my number 1, and my ranking was A, H, L. And then round 3 was sisterhood, and I got called back to A and H, which I was like, honestly, I was just like, oh my god, thank you for not inviting me back, because I honestly, it was so awkward. It was painfully awkward. It was so awkward that honestly I was considering dropping this whole like recruitment thing, because I could not go with it. Like have you ever been in a situation where it's like so awkward you can't leave? Like it was so awkward. I was just like, I don't want to come back. Like I just didn't want to come back. Just keep in mind that some houses you're going to have really awkward conversation with, and you might as well just stand up and leave because it was just so bad. It was just so bad. So sisterhood, I got called back to A&H, and yeah, I mean, I went through it again. They talked about kind of what they do, what sisterhood means, and a couple of questions they asked me were, what does sisterhood mean to you, and kind of just what you think sisterhood is about, basically. And then they tell you kind of like what sisterhood retreats they do, if they do one, and what kind of like sisterhood events they do. For me, A was honestly like, I was so in love with A that I did not care about any of the other houses. So when H invited me back for the second round, they asked me, oh, what made you want to come back? And it's just like, I honestly did not know. Like, I didn't know their philanthropy, which I mean, like, it was okay because that was philanthropy round. They haven't talked about it. And honestly, like, I just came back because they invited me back. I just knew, honestly, I did not care about H. Like, they were a good house, like they are a good house, but I just did not care. Like, it just wasn't for me. So for sisterhood round, they dropped me, which I was totally fine because I honestly was just like, finally, like, they were following me. I was just like, I'm over it, I'm done, like please don't call me back. Like, I was just like fed up. And then like prep day, you dress super fancy, like not super fancy, but you wear like wedges or heels, like just a little bit like the nicest out of all the other rounds. It's so different because every round, like, they're all like clapping, yelling, chanting, singing. And when they open the door for prep day, there's not like, it's all quiet, they're whispering, and you know, like, it wasn't like anything like yelling, like they're all like super, it was just like the vibe was extremely different from like all the other rounds. And I was just so confused. I was just like I was expecting the yelling. At this point, I was really nervous because I only had A invite me back, and I was like, oh no, if I get cut from them, I'm not going to be able to join a sorority in general because I only had one house, you know, for prep day. And I was just like, I mean, it's fine for me. All the other houses, I just didn't like them as much. Every house I went into that wasn't A, I was just like, yeah, just another house, you know. And then like when I went to house A, I was so nervous. And then I remember the girl who was prepping me, she was like, are you like nervous, are you anxious or something? And I was just like, I'm super nervous right now. And then she was like, oh, why are you nervous? And I was just like, because I really like this house and I really don't want to be cut from you guys. Like, I straight up said that, and like, I didn't want to sound like, oh my god, I'm a die-hard A, like A for life or die, like ride or die, I guess. I don't know, give me A or give me death, you know. I didn't want to come off like that, but that was basically me at that point. I was just like, I want A. Like, round one, I wanted A so bad, and like, yes, A. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. And then bid day was the day after Labor Day, and we all met in one area. And our ROGAMs, we had ROGAMs, which is our recruitment counselor, we had 3 of them, and there was 50 something of us in that group, and they all gave us our bid card. And I knew I was getting a bid from A. You had to check out with your recruitment counselor after each round. Not after each round, but like at the end of the day before you go home. So like during prep day, I went to go check out, and I was like, if I don't get a bid, will you guys like text me or call me before we all meet together to get our bid? And they're like, yeah, if you don't get a bid, we'll call you or text you so that you don't like waste time showing up and not get a bid. So I was like, okay. And then they're like, it's fine, don't worry about it, you'll do fine, you'll get it. And I was just like, how do you know? Like, you don't know that. Like, some people get caught, like, you don't know that, you know. And then okay, so bid day comes, and then like I'm constantly checking my phone like to see if I got a text. And then we had to meet up at 5:30, and it was like 5:15. I was just like still doing homework. I haven't like started walking to where we were meeting up, and I was just like, oh my god, they haven't texted me yet, like is this really happening? So I was really nervous. So I went to where we were meeting up, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting a bid from them. And then one of my friend, I think she got cut from all houses except for one, after round 1, and then she got a bid with them too. So I mean, if you guys get like, if you're going through recruitment, if you're rushing and you get cut from like all houses except for 1 or 2, like just know that you can still be in a sorority. Like just don't lose hope just yet. Like I lost hope after round 1. I was just like, okay, well, 3 houses, like one of them has to like me. Like my goal was basically getting 4 houses back so that like I could get cut 1 from each day and then still have 2 houses to pref. But that didn't happen. I only had 1, which I'm totally fine with because I got it. So we got our bid and we had to sit on it, which was totally fine for me. Some girls, they were like, oh my god, like they were so hyped. But it's just because I already knew that which house I was gonna be in since I only had 1, and they were like so excited. And then our rogamas, they like took off their shirt, or like not shirt, but like they unbuttoned their shirt to review the shirt inside, or like they took off their jacket. And one of my rogama was in my sorority. It's in my sorority. And she was the one who told me like, don't worry about it, like you'll get in. And I was just like, you probably tell that to everyone. Like I was just like, oh my god, we're sisters. Like I was just so like like I didn't even open my card, like I didn't even open my bid at that point because like I already knew, you know, I got in. Like so we went to this like area just for like our sorority and stuff, and then like we walked there and we're like everyone like group by group were running to the house, and we were just like waiting for our turn to run to our house. And so that's when I like neatly opened it, and I was just like, oh my god, it's official. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you would know because I took a Snapchat of it. If you wanna follow me, my username is down below, okay? And then so I was just like, I was screaming, even though like everyone already screamed. I opened my big card late. So it was our time to run to the house, and we were running. I was just like, why are these girls running so slow? But then they were in flip-flops. I was wearing sneakers. Like I always wear sneakers, to be honest. And we were running, and we had to follow our recruitment counselor, which is our sister, because I think every house had like a recruitment counselor, so we had someone kind of like to follow because we don't know where the houses are. So like they're all walking, like they're all running so slow. This is what happened. So I was like the second person in line because the first person was obviously like the recruitment counselor. So I was just like following her, and then like she knew like she just ran and hugged her sisters because like she was like, you know, like she wasn't like, she's not a PNM, you know, so she already knew like who was who. And I just like, I ran, and then all of a sudden like once I saw him, I just stopped because I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? And basically all these girls are holding a poster, which I'm not gonna show you guys, but like all holding a poster with your name on it. And then I was running and I stopped, and I was just like, oh my god, like there's so many names, like which one is mine? And then like girls were like pushing me from the back because they were running, and I was just like standing there like, so like where did I go? And then it took me like 5 minutes to find my name. And then so you get a bid day buddy, which is someone, you know, an active sister who's like your buddy for today. And I was a little bit sad because it wasn't a girl who I talked to throughout the rounds, because I was like, oh, maybe none of the girls who talked to me liked me that much to be my bid day buddy. And I was a tiny bit sad, to be honest, but maybe there wasn't enough active members. I don't know. So yeah, and then I didn't realize that we had bid day buddies, so I just took, because they gave us like a bag and a shirt and just stuff in our poster, and they just like, they give it to you, and I just took it and I like ran away and I like tried looking for people I knew. And then she was like following me and she was like, yeah, I'm your bid day buddy, my name is, you know, my name is this way. And I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't mean to run away from you, like I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, like but yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say. Honestly, I thought the whole dress code thing for each round was kind of stupid, but then I realized it's not really like for them to judge you based on what you wear, because none of this is appearance wise, at least I hope it's not. But it's more like, so like one girl isn't dressing in like sweatpants and then another girl is like wearing like a super fancy dress. It's just like everyone's kind of like on the same level, I suppose, because I'm not too good with dress codes. Like I honestly don't know how to dress. Like I just wear a shirt and some shorts, like that's my daily go-to. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you guys what sorority I'm in, but I am in so they've been my number one since round one, and honestly I think it was meant to be. I was totally in love with all the girls I talked to. I'm so happy I found my home. And to those who are going through recruitment, good luck. I don't really trust the system, to be honest, but I feel like it's a little bit flawed since you can't really judge a house based on like 1 or 2 girls, to be honest, but that's how the system works. You can't really argue the system. It's been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades, so really that's just my personal opinion on the whole process. But some girls say trust the system, trust the process. I mean, it worked out for me, so I still don't know why I don't trust it, but I mean, to each their own, I suppose. I love my sorority so much, and like the philanthropy, it's amazing. Like Alzheimer's Association, like I worked with them throughout my high school. Like I volunteered for one of their office during high school, and like their values with like service and sisterhood and loyalty, and I don't remember the other one, which I know is pretty bad, but I swear to God I just became part of this like less than a week or 2 now. But it's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below, because I'm gonna be doing a Q&A once I finally understand how this whole sorority thing works, because I'm still so new to Greek life. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and good luck to those who are rushing. Bye!